All right. Let me go ahead and mic check. Check the mic. Make sure our audio is pretty good. Give me a moment here. Kind of set this up. There we go. Got to go ahead and mute that. So what's going on? It's good to see everybody. Sorry, a little bit of a late notice. I wasn't going to go live tonight, but I figured, you know what, go ahead and pull the laptop out and go talk some shit with my foxbody friends. So wasn't happening. What's going on, Mark? Good to see you. What's going on, Rich Long? What's a happening? So, yeah, I usually try to give people a little bit of a notice, but usually Sunday nights are usually the day we go live if we're gonna go live. So it is what it is. Good to see my guys in green. Those are my channel members. Appreciate you guys. You guys all got you guys all got the notification of going live, right? I think my notification even came up. I don't even know. What's up, Matt? What's up, Cyborg? Working on a 302 bad buy car has been a nightmare. I can understand that. What's up, Shelby County? Good to see you. Yeah, so yeah, that's kind of crazy how the notifications work really well for like cell phones with going live, but like when you like upload a video or a short, it's like actually like the lives and the shorts like pop up instantly on notifications. But anytime somebody puts up a long form video, it's like you get notifications like 3 days later. It's kind of ridiculous. What up, Zach? What up, Zimmer? It's good to see everybody. So tonight we're going to be talking about well, first and foremost, appreciate you guys for stopping in. Big shout out to the guys in green. Those are my channel members. Big shout out to Tremick McLeod, Team Z, Stiflers, just to name a few, Handler Motorsports. I appreciate you guys for what you guys do for the channel. So this past weekend, we went to PRI. Is it Performance Racing Industry? I think that's what it's called, like a trade show. So it's like my first time ever going there. A lot of the vendors and a lot of the parts that we have on these cars, those folks were there. So I got a chance to walk around, and we'll talk about that here in a second. What's up, MF Customs? Good to see you, Dan. 94 car now, looking for an 87 to 92 block. I didn't get one. It popped up your live instantly. Yeah. So that doesn't make any sense. That's one of my biggest complaints about, about YouTube is the notification like queue or whatever you want to call it for when like you actually put up content like actual videos or, the shorts pop up and the live streams pop up. But like when my buddy Caleb at Foxcast Media or even Brutal puts up a video, I get like I get a notification like 2 days later. I'm like, yeah, bro, I already watched that. So makes no sense. Working on a 417 Windsor. Woo! That's crazy. That's got the bigger crankshaft. That must be. So are you put out in a stock block? What's up, Ray? Good to see you. Nick Larson, what's up? Finally got time to attend a live rather than watching it. I appreciate you watching it later too. Shit. What's up? What's up for discussion, Dan? Well, what's in the thumbnail? You got so many subscribers, it takes a while. No, that's not it. I got nothing. Compared to other channels, I got a few. But I'm not complaining. So it is what it is. We're talking about the 387 stroker update, the PRI experience that I had in will Terminator X, considering how well we've done with the white car and the A9L and the binary editor. I've been doing a lot of research on Terminator X, and we are not turning around. I actually want to show you. We're going to show you a little sneak peek on what we're going to be doing with the white car behind me. So, yep. What's up, Roy Gustafson? It's good to see you, brother. I haven't seen you in a while. Well, you've been popping in a lot lately, so that's pretty cool. I appreciate you, Roy. Well, motor mounts for a 302 going on 3. I would put solids in, but if you're not a solid motor mount type of guy, I will tell you that, putting solid motor mounts in your car or using a motor plate does have a little bit of vibration, a little bit of extra vibration, I guess you want to call it, because the motor doesn't have like polyurethane mounts or whatever. But if you're going to use, I suggest well, I don't know, man. You know, every time we put the polyurethanes in, we've always bent them up and broke them on a turbo kit. So, yup, they're not exactly, you know, the best thing in my opinion anymore. Solid motor mounts they are what they are. I would run those instead. But again, you know, to each their own. There's no wrong answer to that. It's just preference. You know what I mean? So, but we did end up going to, we'll talk about PRI first. So this past weekend, the PRI Performance Racing Industry Trade Show was this past weekend. And we got a chance to actually walk. Dude, it was like 1,200 vendors there. I mean, everybody, you know, Viking, Avco. I mean, I'm just going to start naming a couple, you know, Trick Flow, Liberty Gears was there. There were so many. I mean, MF Customs was there, which I happened to stop at his booth. We'll talk about here in a second. McLeod Clutch. I mean, there was just like, you know, it was like a trade show to like let you guys see what's coming out for 2024 and like all your popular brands that you've been buying for all these years. You know, you get a chance to actually network with some of the companies out there. So, you know, I seen it last year and I was regretful for not going to it last year. My friends were talking about it, but I think it was in Florida, so I wasn't gonna fly there or whatever. But you know, since it came back to Indianapolis, it was only about 5 or 6 hours away, and wasn't too bad. Yeah, it definitely looked awesome. What's up, Gabe Large? It's good to see you, man. Hell yeah. Hey, it might be hard to understand what I'm asking, but I bought a T5. I think it's out of a 95 for my 89, but the input shaft ended up being 5/8 too long. That's correct. You just put another input shaft in it. So the SN95 input shaft's about 1/8 of an inch longer, so or 1/4 of an inch. Somebody correct me. I'm trying to think of the measurements. But all you do is just swap the input shaft. So probably best thing you want to do is maybe take it to somebody that's familiar with that. You're still gonna have to shim it so you can make sure it. I mean, you'd probably be able to use the same shim or whatever, but you're just gonna have to get a foxbody input, or you could run a SN95 bell housing too, but I don't suggest that part. Just swap the input shaft for sure. Stripper Glitter, what up? PRI is absolutely insane. Didn't get to go this year, but we are discussing a booth. Yeah, for sure. Like you guys, I definitely think you guys should have been there. I think you could have probably sold some prep, sold some merch for sure. I mean, you know, there's always seems like everybody that was there was all like no prep people. I mean, it wasn't just no prep people, but there was a lot of no prep people there. You know, I was seeing a lot of good people. Seeing a good friend of mine owns Raggedy Ann. I actually talked to CJ Buck for, I don't know, probably 30 or 45 minutes. Got a chance to meet Zinford and Eric Hunt. So I want to make a big shout out to my guys down there in North Carolina, just killing the game with Dig or Die. Those guys are just straight up. They're probably, you know, it's one of the best conversations I had for the weekend. And, you know, they invited me down to do some stick shift shit with stick shift friends down at their track and their venues. They run 3 of them a year, and they spoke very highly of, you know, what we do up here with no prep, and, you know, definitely want to go check out one of their venues once, like we did at Delaware. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to go next weekend. I had to make a decision whether I was going to go to PRI or go next weekend to race, and I'll just save one of the Dig or Dies for next year. We'll kind of sneak it in the schedule if we can somehow, whatever. But definitely, those guys were up there. They were talking about, you know, their no prep and how they were trying to build their brand there, and, you know, looking for companies to get involved with it, and that's pretty awesome. Somebody to do so. Big shout out to those guys. Tim Webb, MF, what wiring options do you make for the Holley HP? More useful and cheaper than Holley? Yeah. It all depends, so he can answer your question. I'm going to show you guys here in a little bit, you know, speaking about what he was just talking about. Okay, so I pulled a roller 351 out of a van. It has a water-cooled oil filter. Yeah, it's just like that's not a big deal. Any benefits of keeping that? Not really. Hopefully next year I'll be starting my 387, 393 build. So guys, let me, you know, when you're going into, and I'm going to keep this, I'm going to go ahead and keep this comment on the screen for a second. I want to talk about it. Hopefully next year I'll be starting my 387 and 393 build topped off with a Pro Charger. Okay. So if you have the opportunity, and I'm going to tell you this right now, if you have the opportunity to build a 393, and I'm not knocking what you're doing right now, Ron, but if you're in the same position that's here and you have the option or the opportunity to build a 393, just go ahead and build the 393, because the balancing options alone, along with boring the motor over and getting a good clean bore out of it and a good clean piston of your choice out of it, which allows you to lower the compression quite a bit, that's definitely the way to go. The 387 build was just something that we threw together. I don't want to say we threw together. It was something that I planned to do for a long time because I wanted to see it actually work. And it's going to work, and it's going to be badass. But there was machine work involved with that. There wasn't anything really extra outside of like the balancing. It was a big pain in the ass, because one part of the balancing of the 28 ounce on that 387 stroker, the whole counterbalance was missing, that I had to take mallet or take metal out of, or add metal to get it to balance. Do you understand? So it was kind of a pain in the ass. Plus, using the stock rods without changing the actual rod bolts, we had to clearance some of the actual skirts underneath, and with the pistons and such. So I don't know. There's an advantage to just, a machinist would just want to just bore it over anyways and go with the 393. So I hope that kind of helps you out a little bit. What's up, Frank Three Stangs? Yeah, Dan, Eric, and DOD crew are awesome dudes. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. What's up, Adventures with Super Dave? Good to see you, man. I definitely think you should run a booth, though, for sure, Stripper Glitter. I don't know. Is that you, Steve, or is that James? Who is that? Mike? Chris? What up, 2-Valve GT? So anyways, we were walking around PRI. Got a couple things we ended up talking with Trick Flow, talking with Corey and Josh and Eddie. What a great group of guys. Trick Flow well represented. Had some new cylinder heads, like new LS stuff that they're coming out with. That I guess LS suffers from, like the stock heads. I mean, not that we have any LSs here, but I guess they were telling me that there were some issues with the valving and the guides or something like that. So they suffer from something that fails prematurely on the factory heads, which is still a good cylinder head, but they came out with a pretty badass LS head or something, and they're still working on their intakes. They still got, they know they got a big back order on the lower intakes, but they're working their ass off trying to get that solved or whatever. So big shout out to Trick Flow. Yep. So yep. Who else did we talk to? Oh, we talked to Liberty Gears quite a bit. My buddy Tony Politano and Tess ended up picking up a TKX that had just been Liberty faceplated. So you don't see a lot of Liberty faceplated, or you don't see a lot of faceplated at all TKXs right now for whatever reason. But they're putting it in the White Cracker, I think, down in Columbus right now, or they did, or will be. I don't know what car it's going to go in. I think it might even go in a Maverick. I don't know, but needless to say, TKXs can be faceplated, and that's really kind of where my point was. And it's going to be pretty awesome to see that, see them go ahead and shift that up a little bit. So, yeah. Moving on, we got a chance to see John Donald. Big shout out to him. He works the faceplated pieces. He builds the faceplates. He actually fixed my T56 or whatever when we broke it last year. He's a fucking hell of a mechanic, man, or engineer, whatever you want to call it, man. He's really good with the stuff. So got a chance to see Craig, the owner, say hello to him at Liberty Gears. It was really cool. What other booths did we stop? We stopped at so many. We stopped at AFCO, so big shout to AFCO. There's actually a couple of shocks and struts that we're putting on the coupe, the Trooper coupe next year is the AFCO stuff, so it's gonna be pretty fire. Can't wait for that. So what's the best thing from PRI? So what was the best thing from PRI? Can't wait to see the 387. So I don't know. Okay, so the best thing, in my opinion, from the PRI was literally the people, the environment. It was like you were walking, like PRI. The best way to put this, I was walking through PRI, and it was almost like walking through like a parts catalog. Like you had Trick Flow here, and listen, you had AFR here, and you had McLeod here, and like you had Nitrous Express here, and they were popping off nitrous, and it was pretty dope. And then you got, you walk around the corner and you got Liberty Gears. And I mean, I'm just naming a few. You had Race Tech, which had the seats. You had the Hans Device people. I can't even remember what they were. Shit, I can't even remember what that booth was, so I apologize. I mean, there was so much stuff going on at PRI. Like, you can't walk in a day. And the nice thing is if you could take a couple of days off, you don't have to actually spend the whole weekend there, because apparently Thursday and Friday are the days to go. And like Saturday, like I had thought it was like the swap meet, right? It's like, shit, Saturday, shit, we'll go Saturday when everybody's going to be there, because you automatically assume on Saturday that the event's going to be the most populated, and it's completely wrong. It's actually Friday. Friday's the day, that it's populated. So yeah. Super Dave, I appreciate the super sticker, man. Thanks so much for what you do for us here at the channel, man. Thank you so much. Put that to good use for when we travel next year and for Fox Days of Christmas. Speaking of which, guys, I want to be real with you with the Fox Days of Christmas. Every year, if you guys are new to the channel, every year we actually give away shit. In 2021, 2022, we gave away a lot of stuff, and it was really kind of sort of overbearing. But the point of the matter is, I want to give away some stuff this year. We're not going to give away a bunch of stuff, but I think I'm going to do it on the live streams for the next couple of weeks, starting with possibly next week. If not, maybe the week after, which I think the week after. So it'll be like a New Year's, end of the year, whatever. We're going to give away a couple things. I got a couple companies involved with it. I'm not going to, shoot the moon again like I did last year. I had 34 things I gave away. I could ask these companies, and companies are wonderful when you're asking to give stuff away to the community. And, big shout to Ram and NPD and all those guys that did that last year. But this year we're going to focus, a little bit smaller, make it a little more easier to handle. I was going to do the whole Grinch and, Santa Claus thing again, but, maybe next year. It's been a long year, and I want to give back to the community still, which I will. We're just going to do it a little bit different this year. I think we're going to do it on the live streams themselves. So definitely want people to know that in advance, that, the next couple live streams, and I'll make sure I'll let you guys know in advance too, not just pop in like I did tonight. So anyways, we're going to probably be giving away probably a camshaft, clutch, maybe a shifter, some torque box reinforcements, methanol kit, just to name a few. I think there's 6 or 7 other things. There's a handful of stuff that I already have. Yeah, we're going to be giving away some stuff. So, and I'm going to keep it between, big shout to Donnie B at Anderson Ford Motorsports for, definitely jumping on and handling motorsports for helping me with the collaboration with this Fox Days of Christmas. We're going to kind of keep it, a little bit smaller with those companies and give away some pretty cool shit. So get something back to you guys. No, we're going to continue to do the banners and swag. Like, that's something completely different. I need what? We're going to, as far as the banners and swag is concerned, that shop swag, that's something that's going to be kind of proprietary for my live streams. That's something that me going out to all my vendors and saying, hey, can you give me 3 or 4 different banners? The ones that you can hang on the shop wall. So, and they're usually really, really punctual with that, Stiflers and Hanlon and Tremec. We're going to hit up Team Z and McLeod. So I'm hoping by the beginning of the year, I have, 20 or 30 banners, I can give away for literally a half a year. You know what I mean? It's pretty much live stream most every Sundays. And, if I can get enough of them to hand out most of the year, that'd be really cool. So currently I have a T5 and an 89. Have you ever experienced reverse? You have to find in reverse. What? Have you ever experienced reverse? You have to find in reverse, but it doesn't. Sometimes first, sometimes it's hard to get out of first and put it in reverse. Sounds like a shifter rail problem. You might probably have a shifter rail that's bent or a fork that's broken. So what's up, Fat Boy Fox? Good to see you, brother. So yes, definitely hit that smash that like, guys, if you enjoy the channel, enjoy the live chats or whatever. So anyways, going back to what we were talking about, PRI. Now, just imagine yourself walking through a monstrous building. Like, it's just well lit. It's a convention center. So, I mean, it's pretty awesome. It's big, you know, and just like literally every 10 feet is a different vendor. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I got a chance to talk to G-Force. Did talk to G-Force a little bit about G-Force gears. We talked to Bang Shift Billy, which is, you know, we're stick shift guys. So, you know, that's a really kind of like a cool item to have. It's definitely has its purpose. We sat down in the war room with McLeod and talked about sponsorship. So, you know, big shout to, well, I'm not even going to say his name here, but he knows, he's listening. Big shout to a good close friend of mine here that you guys know here on the channel as becoming a new a new McLeod sponsor. So, got a chance to see you know, a much needed chance to see a good old friend of mine, you know, Brian Crane. Good to see him in good health. And, you know, he's probably got one of the fastest, if not the fastest Cobras in America. So pretty cool. Anyways, moving on, we had a chance to meet a lot of vendors, and some people knew who we were, and some people appreciated, you know, what we do here on the channel. And it's good to hear shit like that. It's good to hear to go through and see the people who have sponsored you on your car and the other people who may not have, and them know actually who you are, and, you know, not be a bad thing, and not be like, oh, look at this jackass. I mean, at least not to your face. So, I mean, it's just good to just make connections. And that's really what PRI is really all about. I mean, you're able to see some of the new shit that they got coming out in 2024. You know, they're able to show you the good, bad, and the ugly, or whatever their business has and whatever they're a part of. And they usually have 3 or 4 people there that are answering questions. And I sat at the Precision booth quite a bit, talked to Jared, and I think this guy's name is Dave. He follows here on the channel. Both of them do. And we're going to be talking to them about the twins for the coupe and what we're going to do with that. We actually got the idea on the way home. We have this 7675 ball bearing turbo that we're going to be selling. You know, the extra brand new one that we had for the white car that used to be on the black car. We're going to actually be selling that. I was thinking about doing like a t-shirt raffle where I could get 417 involved with it. The guy who makes my hats, my merch, and this koozie, or wait, this, yeah. Anyways, he makes koozies. So I thought about doing like a t-shirt thing where, like, if you buy a t-shirt, you're automatically entered to give away a turbo. You know what I'm saying? It'd be one way to do that. You know, I mean, the t-shirts wouldn't be $20, but you know, it would consider the factor of, you know, if you bought a t-shirt, then it would put you into a raffle to win a new ball bearing turbo. That would be pretty cool from Precision. So that's something I'd definitely be interested in doing, to kind of maybe get rid of that one, because I don't need that turbo anymore. We'll go with the couple small ones, put on the Coyote and or the 408. Floyd, I got a couple of new to me driver doors. One is rust-free manual window. The other is power door that has rust, and a really nice rust-free driver's front fender. Now the fun begins. All right, so you're changing out some rust stuff. AG86 Fox. I'm changing my rear main seal and bought a PTFE. And bought the PTFE, but now I'm second guessing. Should I stay with the rubber? No, I would stay with the rubber one. I mean, rear main seal. One of the main things you want to check in your rear main seal is making sure that your rear crankshaft your journal in the back where the rear main sits isn't, like, those rear mains will actually wear a groove into the back of a stock crank if it's a stock crank. And they make little sleeves. And if and this goes for anybody who's changing a rear main seal. I actually did a video on it several years ago. You know, that you can buy these little steel sleeves, and they're not heavy. They don't weigh anything but probably 5 or 6 ounces, if that. You know, you tap them in. They come with a little tool, and you tap them into the back of your crankshaft, and it kind of takes the place of what used to be a good polished surface when your crankshaft was new. So when you tap those in, you put the rear main in, and you usually have pretty good luck with keeping it sealed for the most part. I usually like to put a little bit of Right Stuff gasket sealer, kind of where the oil pan kind of dips a little bit, to make sure that the seal doesn't leak from the outside, you know, where the pan meets the seal itself. You know what I mean? Could be a little bit of you know, a little bit of distortion there too. So it is pretty awesome. Yeah, it's called a speedy sleeve. Is that right? I don't know. I just called it a sleeve. It's a rear crankshaft sleeve. Keeps the freaking rear oil man rear main seal from leaking. But yeah. But anyway, moving on back, talking back about PRI. You know, if you guys get a chance, you know, get a chance to go to PRI, it's definitely freaking cool. You know, I got a chance to, you know, there was a lot of people that you follow on TV. I mean, I've seen the Dominator probably 3 or 4 times from Street Outlaw. They just walk right by you. I seen Kai Kelly out in the street when he was you know, those little things you put your credit card in and you can little scooters you can drive around town. And he's just going out to eat with his friends and, you know, just walk right on by. Pretty cool, you know. I think they had their like a signature signing booth where they were all there in like their own different room or whatever, where you got a chance to take pictures and sign like, you know, autographs and shit like that. So yeah, there was a lot of good people there. You know, walked around most of the time with Tony and, you know, hanging out with stick ship friends, man. Got a chance to hang out with Dan Watts and Brian Crane, like I just told you guys. For the most part, I was just there mostly by myself, you know, just kind of, you know, representing. I feel like if the company's gonna, you know, take care of you and the channel, I think, you know, it's just, you know, in your best interest to, you know, some of these events that they put a lot of money and resources into, that you go do the same. So like, you know, with McLeod and Tremick and Team Z and the folks that are here on the channel, you know, you go to PRI because it's like the end of the year, like shebang for that business. And then everybody takes a break off for the most part for like a month for the holidays. And then they, you know, the budgets all come out and then the companies start 2024. So it's kind of like the last bang of the year. You know, get a chance to see what's coming out next year. And, you know, companies get a chance to bring that shit to you guys at a show. It's pretty cool. So Mike Sherrill, if a man runs a 408 stroker, shouldn't he be obligated to change the 5.0 badge to 6.7 to warn others? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What's up, Murphy's Law? Good to see you, brother. The bucket list. What's up? What's up, bucket list mob? What's up, guy? How does the general public get into PRI? PRI is actually, it's kind of like, you just buy like a $40 membership. And I think NMRA does this shit too when you try to sign up for True Street, if I'm not mistaken. But you just buy the, you know, that's like a $40 membership, you know, and you it's good for a year or whatever. So you just sign up for it online, you pay for it online, and then when you get there with your registration piece, it's really easy. There's a machine, like a lottery machine. You scan the code, and it pops you out a placard, and you go over and get a lanyard, and you walk around with it. That's pretty easy. So general public gets in. You still have to pay. Yeah, I agree. I would agree with that. You must be talking about, you know, if my sponsors, me going and representing them. Hell yeah, it is. If they're going to put time and effort into your brand, you should take time and effort and put into theirs. You know, and I told Tremick and I told my kid, you know, when he first sponsored me, it says, you know, what do you expect from me? And it's just like, well, I want you to go to my events that I dump a lot of money and resources in and represent the brand. And that's exactly what you should do. Like, I think there's a lot more goes into just getting sponsored than, you know, than more that meets the eye. Like, you know, you not only with the video and content, you know, you should be representing the brand if they go to some of these big events that have other brands there or whatever. So I don't know. That's just the way it's not the right way. I don't know. It may be the right way to some people, maybe not. I don't know. What rear main seal do you recommend? The Ford racing one. 650 in the house. What's up, brother? Thinking about going next year, brother. Hopefully get to meet some of you guys. Yeah, so I definitely highly suggest anybody who does a lot of racing or performance stuff, who sees a lot of that, has a shop, especially like you, Edgar. PRI would 110% be one of the best things that you did all year, just because you're able to to collaborate and network with. Like I said, there was a lot of owners there. Like I got a chance to meet with Robbie, who Robbie is from, I don't even know his last name. I just know his name's Robbie, from Magnafuel. And he's like the owner, CEO or whatever for Magnafuel. And you guys know that Magnafuel took care of us. I mean, we own like 4 of their pumps. And every year I send pumps out to get them rebuilt. And I did a video on it with my black car and how clogged it was and how shitty it was. And same with the white car. They were just terrible with the 85 sitting in them. But yeah, I got a chance to meet him and collaborate with him and tell him, hey, I'll be calling you in a couple of weeks and we need a fuel system for the coupe. And he's like, absolutely, whenever you're ready. So what's up, Neo? Trying to get going on the 90 GT that's been sitting in the storage for about 7 years. Hope to bring it home this week. Yeah, man. So what's your plans with it? Trying to get going on your 90. So where are you at with it? Is it like is it drive, run and drive, or? Hell yeah, man. 2-valve. I'm V8 swapping a 95 Ranger using an 01 Explorer as a donor. I'm keeping the ECM from the Explorer. How will that Explorer ECM react to a cam change? I don't think it would be a problem. But to be honest with you, I'm not familiar with the Explorer ECM. It should work just fine. My buddy Chris from Carolina has been trying to meet me there for years, and I keep telling him I got all the tools and equipment. Hell yeah, it's time. That's the same thing I said. What's up, Ed Palmer? Yeah, don't worry about it. We just jumped in about 30 minutes ago. We're just talking some shit, bro. No, just dropped the 302 in it, but it was NA 2.387. What timing do you recommend on a 331 GT43 bar car? It's running rich and not sure what it's set at. 12, 13. I would start at 12 and work your way up. Like my dad's car worked the best at 14 and a half. Mechanical. We never tuned that, so. Caleb, do you run solid drop mounts for a 351 Windsor? If so, your oil pan rub the oil. If so, do your oil pan rub the oil pan? You mean the rack? What up, Dan Robinson? Good to see you, man. My dude from Summit Racing. What's happening? Okay, so that's what basically we were at this past week with PRI. It was pretty awesome. Like, I'm really kind of glad that we took the time to make the trip out. I mean, I didn't really get a chance. I didn't know that Friday was going to be the day. I thought Saturday would be the day. But guys, if you're going to go to PRI, plan to be there Thursday and Friday, or at least be there Thursday, go through the show a little bit. Definitely want to plan for Friday because Friday's like the big day. And Saturday is fine if you only have time for Saturday, but it was still packed, but it wasn't a whole lot of people there. So people were telling me that Friday was the day to go. So you guys get a chance to do it. I drove there. It was about 5.5, 6 hours for me with a couple stops. We got to Indy about 2:30. I missed meeting up with Mike Kidd from Tremec. He had to head back. Ended up meeting up with a couple friends. Walked around the floor for a couple hours. Put some pictures up on my members page if you guys seen it. Got a lot of work done in a couple hours on Friday. Went back to the hotel. Everybody was kind of going out for drinks, and I was just like, went back, ate some dinner, went to sleep. Woke up early, hit the treadmill, hit the breakfast. I was ready to go walk the floor for 8 hours at PRI, and that's exactly what we did. Ended up being done about 4 o'clock and ended up going home. Ended up driving home because it was my kids' weekend and I was already missing my kids, So, I already kind of felt bad for being out of town. So I got home and was able to tuck my kids in and go to breakfast with them this morning. So it was a win-win whole weekend. Yeah, for sure, Donnie. I actually missed Donnie B. We were in a booth like conversation. I think I was with McLeod. I don't remember, Donnie, but I was talking to somebody and I called you back and texted you and didn't get a chance to meet up with you, man. So I'm sorry about that. Donnie B from Anderson Ford Motorsports right there, folks. Got any questions for him? A guy here in Texas has a moderately clean I'm sure that's 1988 notch roller for 1K. I would 100% buy that, even if it was a shell. Yeah, I've heard anybody building an all-wheel drive V8 Explorer or wheel drive line not handle it. Have you ever heard of anybody building an all-wheel drive V8 Explorer or wheel drive? I don't know why. I mean, it's all 31 spline from the factory. I would send it. Lewis, do you plan on running the stock distributor with the Terminator X kit? Yes. GT Mustang, who makes 8.2 deck long tube headers for high port heads? Cook's Ultimate doesn't. I wish ARH did their headers. Did you try? Hell, I don't even know if Cook's is out of the question. What about Stainless Works? Check Stainless Works. Look up Celine. That's a good one, Carlos. It ran when I parked, but life got in the way. Started a 5-lug swap. Needed to finish the brakes. Yeah, I get that, dude. I get that for sure. You know, we always talk about here on the channel. We talk about trying to manage that shit. You know, trying to manage family, money, time. You know, working on our projects and stuff. You know, that's basically what we did this past weekend when I was with my kids. I was trying to manage, you know, going to PRI because it was kind of important not only for the brand but for the channel, and for my you know, the sponsors or whatever. But you know, it's tough. You know, it's not easy. Some of you guys can understand what I'm telling you. I just replaced my distributor from LMR factory replacement, and the PIP was bad. I want the forged aluminum one from Performance Distributor. What distributor are you using along with the Coyote TFI? The Excel. I take that back. MSD. Because that's a 363. So the 408 had an Excel on there. Yep. I think the Celine Explorers were called XP8s. I think that's the one folk that was the one fella. I have used the same Cook's headers with 8.2 deck and 9.5 deck. A guy in 88 notch 1K, the A pillars are gone. Is this body junk? Depends on how much they're gone. What's up, D10s? All right, so moving on past the PRI, the 387 stroker, as far as I'm concerned, we got most of the drive line in, which we just did a video on. Got a couple little knick-knack things underneath. And like we got to hook up the rest of the clutch. We got to hook up, we got to mock up a little bit of a header situation or like a Y pipe, H pipe situation. We're pretty much actively working on the front of the motor, which doesn't take but a few hours. We'll do an update on it this week, where we're going to be putting like the water pump and the pulleys and the alternator and all the little time-consuming shit, whatever. We got to change the injectors. We got a video we got to do about injectors. There's quite a bit of stuff. So, just had a baby. Hope all is well, man. Congratulations, D10s. Congratulations. Hell yeah. Been a member of the channel for 9 months. Yeah, if you want to check out the membership, guys, there's a little join button below. It's on all my videos. We talk a lot of shit in the members chat, and I give them an update. I give those folks updates what we're doing here in the shop. Anyways, Cook's made a set for high ports. Have you called them? I have a set of Z304 heads, so I know they did at some point. But yeah, that's 387. I mean, outside of the video that we just released, it's pretty much sitting in the same spot that it was, you know, a couple days ago. But we do plan on doing another video of it. We do plan on pushing it quite a bit. My goal is to have the 387 fired by the end of the month, which is pretty good. I mean, considering we just put the motor in and not screwing around. You know, we want to get it on the dyno. We want to make a little bit of power, but there's also issues with the axle that we got to, I mean, there's a big like gear lube section. I mean, my axle tube's leaking quite a bit. We've twisted the axle at some point in its time, but I'm pretty sure naturally aspirated, the 387 is not going to break my axle in half. We could probably just get it fired up, get it running, shake it down a little bit on the dyno, see how much power it makes, and then fix the axle or whatever. But definitely an issue. That's definitely an issue with 8.8 axles is that damn tubes. I don't know. I braced the tube and did all the shit to it and never welded it like a dumbass. You guys going to build an 8.8 axle, get the tubes welded. That's the first thing you do. I don't care if you make 300 horsepower or 3,000. Get it done. So that's the update with the 387. Now, as far as the Terminator X, we're going to be doing a video about that this week. I'm just going to go ahead and grab it. So we ended up sending out our... Hold on. So we ended up sending our Terminator X out. One of the biggest concerns we had about the Terminator X was the install. And apparently there was there's a company, MF Customs, he's here in the chat, that actually modifies the original Terminator X harness. And I'm giving you guys kind of a sneak peek on what we're going to be talking about. Like, we're going to make a couple videos before we actually install it, but you know, I got it back. You know, we sent the original. Well, actually, we didn't even send the original Terminator X box. But you know, one of the things that they did at the company at MF Customs was they changed. You know, they make the Terminator X kit a drop-in kit. You know, they do things like you know, we replaced the GT 150 style connector from the low dollar motorsports. So like the map connector, the TFI adapter, the can splitter, the sleeving, the labels. There's just a bunch of stuff that they do at the at MF Customs to make the harness more of a compatible drop-in install for foxbody. Because one of the things that Terminator X suffers from, you know, the 937F kit, and this is already done at Anderson Ford Motorsport. So when you buy their kit, it's already done. But they take the, you know, a lot of the plugs on the Terminator X is like a GM plug. So you have to do a lot of splicing or cutting or whatever. So what MF Customs does, for a fee, of course, they take your original, and like I said, this is what Donnie B calls the Gen 2 kit. So like they change some of the plugs in the actual, they do a lot to it. And I'm going to be covering a lot of it in my video, but I'm just kind of giving you guys an idea. You know, they do a lot of Ford plugs on these. So it's just really just a drop-in kit. There was an issue with the TFI. There was an issue, I think, with the IAC. The way the IAC powered up was using the ECU as a power up versus using like the factory style used like the injector harness. So it uses a different power source. So what Dan at MF Customs did was, you know, he went through and modified 5 or 6 of these plugs to make them Ford like drop-in stuff, and he rewired it and modified it so it's not so much of an issue. So definitely was one of the concerns about going to a Terminator X, was knowing the fact that I had to, you know, modify quite a bit to make the damn harness work. But again, you know, Anderson Ford Motorsports, when you go to buy a Terminator X kit and it's called a Gen 2 kit, that shit's already all done. And it's more of a compatible kit for your foxbody versus buying the Terminator X solo or, you know, like original, and then having a bunch of GM plugs on it. And, you know, I guess there was an intermittent breakup that was happening with the something about the TFI would randomly intermittently break up, or the IAC or something was going funky. So they figured it out. So big shout out to MF Customs and Anderson Ford Motorsports for, you know, giving the community the opportunity to have something like that. where it makes it more of a, compatible drop-in harness versus, having to change a bunch of shit and splice it or whatever. So we're going to be doing a video about it. So I kind of gave you guys a little bit of a sneak peek about it. We're going to be doing a video about it this week, if not early next week. We're not doing the install yet. We're just going to introduce it. We're going to compare it with the other Terminator X kit that we have that isn't done like that. And, we're going to go over some of the important shit that you guys need to see, because this is important. Like if you've got a burned up harness in your car and, you're either buying another OE harness that's good, hopefully, or you can buy if your computer's bad and you don't know if it's your harness and your computer, it's probably not a bad idea to give Donnie B a call and just buy a Gen 2 kit. It's pretty drop in for foxbody, and these harnesses and these computers are getting pretty pricey to begin with. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, yeah, I mean, I had to modify a lot for my Holley HP SBF kit. So, yeah. So you see what I'm saying, Tim? There's a lot that goes into that. But they do, like I said, the Gen 2 kit on Anderson Ford Motorsports website and what he does with MF Customs kind of already makes the install that much easier for you when you buy his Terminator kit. So, big shout to Donnie and Dan for doing what they do. With that Stifler's cross member, does the hump on the driver's side loop higher than the stock one? Reason I ask is my brother's running into clearance issues with the exhaust and log tube headers. If I remember correctly, I think doesn't the Stifler sticker face to the rear? I mean, we just installed it on my black car and it lines up just fine. But yes, the hump should be, I want to say that the big side of the hump is supposed to be on, what's the factory one? I'm looking at it now. I don't think it can go the other way. At least not on the TPX one, because it would hit the bottom of the it would hit the belly of the rear tail shaft. I want to say the sticker goes to the rear. What's a good choppy Anderson cam on an On3 331 right now? I have an F303 N41. Actually, the B31's a good boost cam. Donnie can probably chime in with that one. Distributor ignition. I'm trying to catch up, guys. My harness and power, it'd probably be fine, Lamar. You'll probably be fine. Would you rather tune Holley or micro squirt? I don't tune micro squirt. Gen 2 is a nice kit, installing it now. Are Anderson kits still supported by Holley? Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's an Anderson kit, but it's Holley parts. So if you have an issue with the kit, I would imagine you would just get a hold of Anderson anyways. Let me tell you what, if you have an issue with Donnie B's Gen 2 kit, I'm fairly confident that he's going to take care of you. Thanks, MF. It's really just replacing a beat-up harness and a big salt and pepper shaker. So one of the things you have to understand that his kit, like the Gen 2 kit that he modifies, is already a working harness to begin with. So what he does is he makes it more of a drop-in kit. Like I was saying earlier, there was a couple issues with rewiring it. Like, the Terminator X, had an intermittent breakup, and the way the IAC and the TPS was working, he made it so some of the Ford plugs plugged right in. I think there was a TFI adapter or something involved, something about shielded that helps with the distributor TFI stuff. It just made it more easier for you guys to put in, because it definitely had its pain in the ass. So You know, we're about to find out. We're about to find out. You know, you're going to be able, if you've already installed the Terminator X and have had issues, you know, you're going to see us do it right here on the channel. We're going to learn how to, kind of already knew how to tune Holly for the most part, but we're going to kind of get a real like street. We're going to do a lot of street tuning as far as like, you know, getting a little bit of data log on it instead of having to go to the dyno all the time. So it's going to be pretty cool. Our Anderson kits. Yes, I just answered that. Donnie B's like, that's correct. We support if it's purchased through us. That's correct. Can Donnie get us better pricing for a small block or long blocks from Ford Strokers? Probably not. I don't know. I don't know how he deals with that. He might run a sale here and there. There's probably like an MSRP on that, or I don't know. Well, take that back. It's all custom built. So will the Terminator, so what we've been doing a lot of research on with the Terminator X, I think that, you know, we're going to be running 2 MAC valves with a T connection with CO2. We're going to be able to control, we're going to be able to control boost a lot better. I think we'll come out of the hole at like 8 pounds, about a second and a half out, go about 12 pounds, about 2 seconds. We'll be at 15, but trying to think if, you know, I'm going to have to monkey with the tune quite a bit, but that's, you know, leaving on boost. We'll still be able to leave strong. We'll still be able to leave fast, hard out of the hole like we do now, but at least now we'll be able to have a boost controller. That's like the main reason why I'm doing this harness swap. Guys, I was doing just fine with the stock harness on my white car, but the biggest issue was the load came in too hard, too fast, and I would just lose the boost over time. And there was no way to maintain, no matter what I did with the gate, there was no way to maintain that without running some sort of CO2. And I was really kind of losing a lot and leaving a lot on the table, at least like 10%. I would say I was leaving a good 5 to 10% on the table in tunability, just not having a Terminator X in the car or Dominator or whatever. So we're about to find out, man. The car did really well with what we had, but you know, who's to say that it won't be better now? Especially, we're not taking the 363 out of the white car, so it's going to stay that way. It's going to be a nasty little stick shift car. So take it easy, Broken Tool. Good to see you, man. Appreciate you stopping in. So yeah, we're only going to be on for about an hour, guys. I know it was like a late live stream. You know, I wanted to get on, see what you guys was working on. Been a long weekend, a lot of travel. You guys got any questions for me? You know, we're going to be on for about another 10 minutes ish. Just had a long weekend, man. A lot of walking around, a lot of talking, a lot of, you know, meeting up with people who's, you know, companies, you know, representing brands. That was good shit, man. It was good shit. 387 stroker, man. Can't wait. You know, I'm really kind of thinking about that today. I was going to work on it today, but ended up kind of relaxing for a little bit, watch a little football, and, you know, get caught up with some work that we missed this past week. But, you know, we're going to be hammering down on 387 quite a bit, because that's what's coming on the channel. I mean, the 387 getting fired up, and the Terminator X getting put in the white car, because we don't have any more races scheduled, so there won't be any more race videos for the rest of the year. At least not until end of February, where we're going to be heading to Florida, to Gainesville. I've always wanted to race down in Florida. That time of the year is kind of nice, because it's like a spring break thing, and it's NRA's first race. So it should be 60 or 70 degrees down there, and pretty good air, pretty good weather. So I'm looking forward to that. Get a chance to go back to Florida for a day or a week or whatever. But yeah, I've got a really busy schedule coming up, and hope you guys enjoy the racing shit that we do and the companies that we represent. I don't know, you know, whatever. Having a good time. What's up, Neo? Just catching the men, but love your channel, man. I appreciate you, dude. I appreciate you guys. Good night, Lamar. It's good to see you, man. I appreciate you stopping in. If you guys got any questions, you know, we got about 10 more minutes. You know, what you working on, man? If you got any questions, just hit me up. Will the 302 fan and shroud work on a, no, it will, but I definitely wouldn't suggest using the stock shroud and the stock fan on a 350. Well, a 351, fine. I don't know. I guess just find out. You know, it's not really that big of a deal to put the shroud and the fan in and see if it works. It should work just fine, but at that point, you spend all that money to get all that swap in there. I would definitely consider putting a couple of dual fans in there, or putting one good Taurus fan or a good blade. Just doing the accessories in the front of my 302, looking like my Fox engine finally, thanks to 606 gauge and Big Stick Stangs. Hell yeah. Those guys have YouTube channels here, don't they? I think Big Stick Stangs does, or whatever. What do you say? Murphy's Law. Go with the biggest cam, your springs and pistons will. Yeah. Fix that. I've been thinking about going 347 on my 84 GT350, looking at good donor motors locally to start. If you get a Mexican block, that would be cool. Go with an electric setup. I mean, if you have a good shroud and radiator, why not try it first, right? But I would definitely look for a contour fan. Kingsman Racing Divisions. Will a stock A9L with no tune and low boost work with an FMU? Yes. What takes care of timing issue? You lock it out. What's the timing issue? So the way Donnie B told me to work with Donnie B sent me from Anderson Ford Motorsports, sent me an FMU. They have like the Vortec ones, the ones that you can change the discs in depending on what you run with, like an injector. But 100%, you can run them on speed density cars. I ran, what did we make, Donnie? Like 350, 400 to the wheels, 350 horsepower, like 420 torque in Dad's car with no tune on a speed density computer using the FMU in 19-pound injectors. I think your caps lock is stuck, Turbo Man. A buddy gave me a Mexican block. Just have to go pick it up. You better go pick that up right now. What's up, Fox 408? Good to see you, bro. I'm trying to catch up here. I don't know why that looks. Why does that video look like it? Crap. Let me go to my video settings. Oh, it's in standard 720. Is that better? I don't see any difference, really. Let me see. What's on the whiteboard tonight? We didn't hit up a whiteboard. We just talked about some updates. We walked through PRI, and we got the 387 stuff going on, and the Terminator X. The Terminator X we're about to put in. Soft focus. But anyway, do you need a Mega Squirt or Terminator equivalent in order to tune for boost? Or can you use something like an SCT chip and have a tuner do the rest? Just wondering what the options are. So the one thing that we did for years, and we still do here on the channel, is we've tuned on an SCT chip, like Moats Quarters, and we did a binary editor, pretty standard shit from like 2001, 2003 or whatever when it came out. So you can tune for boost, but you have to use like a manual boost controller. They do make electronic manual boost controllers. Like I do have a dual stage one set up on one of my cars, but evidently it's not really something that's super reliable, especially when you're running with like a stock ECU or whatever. You can do Mega Squirt, or Terminator, like we were just talking about Terminator on the channel. And I just showed you a harness that, if you're going to buy a Terminator X, just go to Anderson and get a Terminator X Gen 2. The kit install is much easier than just getting a regular Terminator X harness. I'm saying that because, I'm already sold on the things that they said that they do with changing the cannon plugs and rewiring some of, the problems that were in the original harness. Neo, do you have an email for Donnie B? I do not. I just call him up on Anderson Ford Motorsports. He doesn't answer the phone, but you just ask to talk to Donnie B and he'll take care of you. So, but yeah. So I will have some really good information about that Terminator kit. Now, as far as making more power on my white car, I mean, we're not really trying to make more power that we already haven't did. We're just trying to manage the boost. So the biggest issue that we had, and I was talking about it a little bit ago and I didn't finish it, is, that we would leave the hole at like 16 pounds, probably about 300 feet out. I mean, it would make power, but it wouldn't sustain the boost through the RPMs. So, first, before second shift, it would go 16 to 14 pounds, 16 to 13 and a half pounds. You know what I mean? We hit fourth and it'd go 16 to almost 12 pounds, or 15 and a half to like 12 and a half pounds. So I was losing boost. I mean, it was just evacuating so fast. There was a little bit of back pressure there too, but at least with the Terminator X in the Mac valves, I'll be able to actually control the boost to where it stays pretty level, and I'll be able to make more horsepower and probably put down a little bit better ET. We'll see. I know nothing about tuning. I purchased an online course from Joe Simpson for the Terminator X, and it's been extremely helpful. Hell yeah, man. There's some good information out there. Matter of fact, Donnie B did a pretty good video, several, of tuning with Terminator X. So I've also been watching Motion Raceworks. There was a guy that was talking about how to tune for 60 foot and Mac valves, and there was Vanderhoof or something like that. I was watching that video. I was watching quite a few of them. There's some good content out there. How do you lock out a stock Dizzy, or what timing do I start at? I wouldn't actually. I would let it advance still, but I would lock it at. I would set it with the advance, with the chip in. Set it to 10 with it out and let it advance itself. It'll be fine. You could lock it out at specific degrees, but I probably wouldn't do that. So, anyway, that's what we're working on today. I don't have any banners for you guys this week. I apologize. That's something I should have got at PRI, I swear. Should have asked for all their banners. Man, I appreciate you, Murphy's Law, for stopping in, man. You are welcome, sir. Thanks for being part of the channel and being a member of the channel. But anyways, guys, I wasn't going to go live tonight, but I'm glad I did. Got a chance to talk to you guys for about an hour. I usually spend a little more time with you guys on a Sunday, but it's been a long weekend, and I at least wanted to get in and talk some shit with some foxbody friends. So, again, PRI is a great show. Big shout out to all the companies that took the time and the resources to go out there and put on a show for all of us enthusiasts out there. But yeah, we got. I do have a surprise. I think we are going to. Everybody's getting ready to bump out, but I got a little secret. I think we are going to. I've been really considering putting the 408 in the coupe, but something keeps itching at me to just put that stupid Coyote motor in and just be done with it and just try to do what we do here on the channel. We talk about budget builds and junkyard shit, and I really just want to put the 408 in the coupe, but there's definitely a side effect to, people say that the Gen 1 Coyote motors, truck motors, won't last past 600 or 700 horsepower, but here on the channel we like to push the limits and break shit, and some of the stuff we don't break, some of the things we're actually pretty excited about. But yep, so it's been kind of tugging at my heart to put that little Coyote in that coupe and twin turbo it and see what happens. But probably leaning more towards the 408 than anything, which that's what this box back here is for, which we're going to talk about here soon. So I'm a push rod guy. I'll be a push rod guy for life. It's tough to even look at a modular motor without saying, I'm just lost with it. It's just like, it's kind of overwhelming. So it's like whatever I learn on the Coyote on the channel is shit that you guys are going to learn. It's like, I know basic mechanics about it, but it's definitely different. Anyways, yeah, looking forward to the Terminator X. So we're going to spend quite a bit of time with the Terminator X install. Again, we're going to be getting ready for Florida. We have a NMRA race with Tremec. Probably all 4 of us from Tremec will be there. Me, Dan Watts, Jeff Smith, and Skylar Hardy. So we'll be able to race with some of the folks down in Florida, which will be fun. That's our next race, but that's at the end of February. After that, we'll probably have a no prep in March. We're going to be sneaking away to go to a no prep in March to a guy I promised this past weekend. Y'all know who you are. And then we're on to May. The first no prep in May is going to be absolute fire. It's going to be one of the best no preps of the year. I can already tell because I already know everybody that's coming. So it's going to be a really good race. It's a front half. It's going to be sticky, and we're going to have a bunch of time. But we got a lot of time between now and then. But we got a lot of shit going on here in the channel. So our 99 Explorer 302 blocks any good? Absolutely. So just got to put the kiddos. Roy, I appreciate you coming in, guys. Appreciate all you guys for supporting the channel and what you guys do here. Yeah, absolutely. If you get listen, and I talk about this shit, in my junkyard videos. If you have the opportunity to just get the whole Explorer block, just get the whole damn Explorer block. Like, to be honest with you, the short block on an Explorer block is pretty much ain't no different than a 94-95 motor. It's the same. It's no different than a Cobra motor because they have pretty much the same crankshaft. They have pretty much the same pistons. They're hyper-eutectic. And the camshaft is shared with the 351 roller. So it's a decent camshaft. So if you get an opportunity, you see a 94 or 96 to 01 Explorer block, just buy the whole damn block. Don't just get the heads and intake. Buy the whole damn block. It looks kind of funky. You're like, you got all these extra, the fuel rails are wrong and the whole front accessories are wrong. Fine. Take it all off, put all your foxbody stuff on it and just call it a day. You don't even have to take the long block apart. You could take the intake, the oil. You got to take the oil pan off and take the pickup off. You put your foxbody ones on, put all the front accessories from your foxbody on it, change the fuel rails, change the valve covers. Boom. Big upgrade. So anyways, guys, we always talk about managing time and money and family. And I appreciate you guys for once again, yes, it's the same firing order, Jeff. You got to change the distributor. There's some things you got to change from an Explorer. That would actually be a really good video. I just gave me an idea. Just buy a whole Explorer video, a whole Explorer, fully dressed Explorer motor, and then take a fully dressed, what would be called a core motor, and just swapping what was needed to make that happen. Wouldn't that be cool? That would be a damn good video. Anyways, I got to remember that one. Yeah, I can't stop. All right, guys. This week we got the 387 update. We're going to be doing quite a bit on the 387, getting it closer to firing the motor. We're going to be doing the Terminator X thing that I was just telling you guys about. You guys need to see this stuff. It's not going to be super fancy videos, but I do appreciate if you guys stop in, comment, and watch it for a little bit. Let me know what you think. But outside that, guys, I appreciate you guys watching tonight. We had quite a few people in the channel, and I only got the chance to spend an hour with you. But I'm gonna go put this shit away, pack it up, and head to bed. So appreciate everybody for watching the channel. Love y'all. Keep clicking, keep commenting, and I appreciate it. So have a good night.